What's up guys, it's Todd from NC Fit Club, and this week I'm doing a video about some of the equipment and things that you're going to need with different programs, especially programs like P90X. When I first started off with P90X, I kept it very simple. I bought this pull-up bar from Beachbody, and I know there's other pull-up bars out there, so go with what you want to go with. I will encourage you to use this one just because the one that looks just like it was actually rated at a less weight capacity than this one is, and I think this one is rated up to 450 or 350 pounds, and the other one started to bow at like 250, which may not mean anything to you, but I'm just throwing it out there for information. It's a really easy pull-up bar to use. It just goes on your door frame like this and locks in. You can put a washcloth or whatever behind here to keep it from messing up your door frame if you want, but it's very sturdy and stable, and this is what I used when I started off with P90X. I mean, this was it, and then I had a set of bands. Alright, so you saw the pull-up bar that I use on the door. As I progressed into P90X, and a lot of people are doing this nowadays, and it's cheaper, and it's actually a better system to use, is actually make your own pull-up bar. And Zach, if you'll come in, you can see how it bolted it in. All this is just regular piping that you buy at Lowe's, and then, you know, the elbow joints and all that stuff, and then you wrap it with some kind of material. Or I'll tell you, the best thing to wrap it with is a tennis wrap for the tennis racket wraps, or whatever you call it, which I'm actually getting ready to do these because it's a little bit better than what I've got on there now. Extremely simple, very cheap, and the good thing about this pull-up bar as opposed to the one on the doors is that you can do stuff where, like, if you're here and you've got to flip around and hang, and you're doing some of the more advanced moves as you get into P90X, like switch grip pull-ups, you're not going to be able to do that on the one with the door because you're going to have to come down, and then, you know, there's just certain restrictions to it. So just keep that in mind. If you've got a place where you can mount one, mount one. The other thing I recommend are these right here. These are the power stands. Tony actually designed these power stands, and the thing that's nice about them is they've got a really wide base to them, so they're not going to roll. There are some out there that kind of roll, and I know there's a lot of people out there that love those perfect push-up stands that turn and twist and all that stuff, but for some of the stuff that you do in P90X, you want something that's going to be stable. This takes the pressure off your wrist, keeps things from being tweaky if you're like this and you have wrist issues. So the power stands are not a necessity, but I do highly recommend them. My wife uses them a lot, helps her wrist out a lot too. Now, when I first started off with P90X, I used the bands, and we did a video about 2 or 3 weeks ago about weights versus bands. The bands were great for me to start off with. They're inexpensive compared to weights. Great if you want to go that route. The next thing I bought, which if you want to do this, were these weights, and then I eventually moved up to the Bowflex Select Techs. So if you want to learn more about that, go watch the video we did about weights versus bands. Then as you get into things, so that was it. That's all I had. That was all the equipment I had. I know that sounds like a lot, but that's all the equipment that I used. Power stands, bands, and a pull-up bar. And then I bought the weights. As you get more progressed, and let's say you get into P90X 101s, or let's say you're a P90X grad and you start getting into the new P90X 101s or the MC2 stuff or whatever, you're going to want to start getting something like this. Stability ball. I never realized what a powerful tool this little bad boy is, but this thing is going to rock your world in so many ways you have no idea. So we've got 2 of those, one for me and one for the missus. And then this was my birthday gift, medicine balls. I suggest these heavy medicine balls. I started off with some like this that were more squishy, and these will do the job, but there's certain moves where you're going to want a solid ball and not something that's going to flatten out. So these are great to have. The other thing that you might want to think about in the future is an inexpensive weight bench. This bench was extremely cheap. It was like $78 or $60, $69, something like that at Dick's Sporting Goods. It's just a simple, basic weight bench. You don't need anything fancy. It's something that you'll use when you get in the shoulders and arms and you start doing decline or leaning back bicep curls and stuff like that. Last thing that I got that I'll suggest for the future is this punching bag. This punching bag I got because I take martial arts and I do Kempo karate. That's why I got this. But what I realized is once I started getting into this, I thought, wait a minute, I can mix this into my Kempo workouts with P90X. And I was like, whoa. I mean, it'll take Kempo from here to here. You mix in this bad boy with some gloves and you start doing your jab cross, hook uppercuts and things like that with a bag, it makes Kempo 10 times harder. So I mean, you know, this is just something that I did. I'm just throwing it out there. And I think that's about it, as if that's not enough. So, you know, I'm not saying go out there and get crazy. If you've got a room like this that you can throw all your crap in and have a huge setup, then go for it. I've got 4 pull-up bars mounted in here, but that's something that I worked my way up to. Start off basic, simple, and as you progress and get into more stuff, then start incorporating more things into it, and you'll have a hell of a good time, and you'll just be amazed at the things you'll be able to do. So if you got any questions, as always, hit me up on Facebook, hit me up on Twitter, contact us today. We will be out of town next week. So if you try to get up with us next week, it'll probably be the week after before I get back with you. So I apologize now. We're going to be on a cruise with Sean T from Insanity. It's going to be a hell of a good time. And we're looking forward to it. So if I don't talk to you before the next week, I will see you guys next week after. Yeah. All right. See ya.